Hi guys, welcome to the latest post. I'm Mad Monster Fan, and today we're going to be taking a look at my all new Taste the Blood of Dracula autograph display. Now I can tell you that the opening sequence to this film was actually taken, or reused if you like, from its predecessor Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, where Christopher Lee's character is impaled on a cross and meets his demise. Now with the addition of Roy Kinnear's character, who's like a travelling salesman type who gets kicked off a coach or carriage, he ends up falling down a small ravine and witnessing the demise of Dracula on that cross. What's left behind is Dracula's red satin cloak, the clasp, the all-important signet ring that Dracula wears, and what appears to look like dried red powdered blood. Now Roy Kinnear's character later on is approached by a group of friends who have been seduced by Ralph Bates's character, and they have a desire for otherworldly desires sort of thing, and the macabre, and end up performing a black mass type ritual and resurrecting Dracula in the movie. And so what do we have here in this all important display? Well, we have the red satin lining from the cloak. Now this was given to me by Hammer film historian Donald Feeney, because he's a very educated man when it comes to Hammer film props. Is very knowledgeable in that respect, and he gave me this swatch knowing that it was one and the same as the lining that would have been used in Christopher Lee's cloak. Now the clasp, the bottom section of it, I managed to purchase that from eBay. An artist must have created that using perhaps images of the original prop. It's not cast from the original prop, but it is very much the same as the original prop, and I would imagine, looking at it, it is almost the same in terms of scale. There's not probably that much in it between that and the original prop, so they've done, whoever did it has done a really good job of recreating that piece. However, moving up to the lion head part of the cloak clasp, this is very important, and again I have Donald Feeney to thank me for that, because he owned the original prop before he sold it on, and he told me that Hammer purchased those the lion head cloak clasp from Jessop's back in around about 1970. Now these are an exact same pair that would have been purchased at the same time from Jessop's. They're not castings of the original, copies of the original, been sculpted by any artist to look like the originals. These are one and the same. These would have been purchased from Jessop's. Now we know Jessop's to be John Lewis now, so that is very important, and I'm very pleased to have came across them on eBay and snapped them up. Now to the right here, bottom right, we have the all-important silver signet ring. We'll come back to that in a minute. And then we have a Vial of Blood. Now the vial is a Victorian toothbrush holder. You can find one of these on eBay, not usually under the heading Victorian toothbrush holder, because not a lot of people know what it is. If you put Victorian perfume bottle, you usually get this come up in the mix with perfume bottles and stuff, and then you'll be able to purchase one should you wish to do so. So that's what that is. It's a Victorian toothbrush holder, but if you're going to do a search for one, look or do a search term Victorian perfume bottle. Now we come to the point of the all-important signet ring. Now some of you will know the story, Hammer fans, but for those of you that don't, Forrest J. Ackerman of Famous Monsters in Filmland, he produced a very limited quantity of these Dracula Crest rings and sold them supposedly through the magazine back in the 60s. But he also gifted one to Christopher Lee, who subsequently wore that ring from Dracula's Risen from the Grave 1968 through to Satanic Rites of Dracula 1973. Now I have one of those original rings right here, and this particular one here is a casting of this ring. I had this cast and moulded, and I've had so many of these produced in solid 925 silver. Now what's very important is it is, to all intents and purposes, that exactly the same as Christopher Lee's with the ribbed band. Now some other people have produced these back in the day in cheap metals like pewter and that, with a one size fits all band, but I decided to reproduce this with a view to selling a few in limited quantities and creating one for this display and another one that I have in mind, and selling them in the new year. So it's important that I put a timeline on this of 2020. It's December 2020, and I'll be selling some of these in January. So if anybody's interested, they can post me on YouTube. I will be putting them up on some Hammer forums perhaps in January, and on eBay. But as I say, what's important about this particular piece is it is a full band. So it's not one of these cheap one size fits all. The idea was to create a solid silver replica and sort of more high-end collectible, as opposed to sort of like a cheap pewter type one size fits all ring. So if anybody's in the market for wanting one of these, I think I'm going to be retailing these at around about £150. They will come in a nice display box and with a certificate. So I'll bring you in now for a closer look at the display, and you can let me know what you think in the comments below. So there we have the red satin cloak, those all important lion head cloak clasp, and the engraved Dracula plaque at the bottom. A postcard size image of the quad poster, all important Christopher Lee autograph, the vial of powdered blood, and that solid 925 sterling silver Dracula Crest signet ring. So there it is, guys. There is my Taste the Blood of Dracula display. And just before I leave you on this video, I can just show you that there is a light in this display when I can reach it, and there it is. So I'll put a red LED light in there to add another little effect to it. So I hope you like that, guys. Give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. So bye for now.